Some argue that the absence of a command to commemorate Abraham's near sacrifice of Isaac in the Torah suggests that Genesis 22 verse 2 was altered to include Isaac's name. This absence is often juxtaposed with the Islamic festival of Eid al-Adha in scholarly discussions. How is their argument articulated? The scholarly argument that the absence of a command to commemorate Abraham's near sacrifice of Isaac in the Torah suggests that Genesis 22 verse 2 was altered to include Isaac's name can be articulated as follows. 1. Textual observation. Genesis 22 verse 2 identifies Isaac as the son that Abraham was commanded to sacrifice. However, the Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, does not contain any divine commandment or ritual to commemorate this pivotal event in the life of Abraham. 2. Comparative analysis with Islamic tradition. In contrast, the Islamic tradition commemorates this event through the annual festival of Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Adha includes specific rituals such as animal sacrifice, qurbani, distribution of meat to the poor, communal prayers, and multi-day celebrations. This festival is one of the most significant observances in the Islamic calendar, underscoring the centrality of Abraham's sacrifice in the Muslim tradition. 3. Scholarly questions and implications. The absence of any commemorative command or ritual for the binding of Isaac, the al-Adha, in the Torah is seen as puzzling by some scholars. This is particularly notable given that the Torah typically prescribes commemorative rituals for other major events in Jewish history, such as the Exodus, Passover, and the giving of the Torah, Shavuot. The contrast between the absence of commemoration in the Jewish tradition and the elaborate observance in the Islamic tradition raises questions about the potential development and evolution of the biblical narrative. 4. Historical critical perspective. Some scholars argue that the absence of a commemorative command in the Torah may suggest that the identification of Isaac as the son in Genesis 22 verse 2 was a later addition or alteration to the original narrative. The argument suggests that the earlier tradition may have been focused on Ishmael, and the inclusion of Isaac's name might represent a later theological development. The absence of a commemorative commandment may suggest a possible evolution in the text. 5. Scholarly framework. This argument employs a comparative religious studies approach, juxtaposing the treatment of the Abrahamic sacrifice narrative in the Jewish and Islamic traditions. The contrast between the absence of commemoration in the Torah and the presence of a major festival in the Islamic tradition is used as a basis for textual critical analysis of the biblical narrative. It is important to note that this argument represents one scholarly perspective, and there are various interpretations and counter-arguments within the academic discourse on this subject.